Excuse me. Hold on a second. Make a few adjustments. Good evening, good evening, good evening. I was thinking about what topic I'm going to be discussing. Then I had an interesting thought. Are you existing or living? There's a difference. We live in a world, if you listen to the news or watch any TV shows or movies, everything seems to be going out of control. People are doing what they see is right in their own eyes. Right has become wrong and wrong has become right. There are those of us who are out there working, going to work, getting a paycheck. Some are married with kids, without kids, doing their daily tasks, but yet they're unhappy. Then there are those who realize that it has to be something more to living, to existing. They must begin to live. To walk around or to drive around in your city or town or state and passing people going different directions, different lives, different courses, journeys, path, method, thought, or whatever to achieve a goal. Is it for self-interest or is it for someone else? Are you existing? Are you living? Are you only existing by going to work, 9 to 5, married, without kids, or single? Eat, sleep, go to the bathroom, engage in sexual relationship. There are those who are happy and content with just doing that. Excuse me. Then there are those, like myself, realize that we have done those things. It got to be something more than existing. We must begin to live. But who are we going to live for? Are we going to live for self or live for others? We all must think, what are we here for? What are we here for? What are we here for? To tag one date, get more money, to live a life of pleasures and whatever, only to die, to be remembered the day of the funeral, and forgotten days and weeks and months afterward. When a person is living, they want to make a difference not only in their lives, but in the lives of others. So when that day do come, what they have taught or left behind can be built upon, and they can make a difference in someone's life. I had the opportunity to hear from several individuals that once in a time I used to be involved with them sexually many years ago. And they reminded me when I finally run across their path, I made a difference in their lives. The things I shared, the advice I gave, they look at me as someone who, yes, know a lot or give wisdom or caring, mostly caring, and I'm concerned about them even though I may have problems myself. I was surprised that I made an impact on those person's lives. How many times have you made an impact on someone's life? If you're existing, you're really not going to make an impact on anybody's life. But if you're living, you're going to make an impact on somebody's life. You're going to deny yourself whatever to give. It's not all about money. It's about the time, the wisdom, the knowledge, the education, to listening, to hear the other side of what someone else thinks. It's not about right and wrong. It's about the truth. Yes, the truth's going to hurt you. Yes, the truth can set you free from the bondage that you have put on yourself. We all, whether we are aware of it or not, have imposed a self-imposed mental, emotional, and physical bondage on ourselves. We allow ourselves to be captive by the thoughts of others. Instead of rejecting those thoughts, fighting those thoughts, resisting those thoughts, pull those thoughts down and begin to think a new way, we remain in that same group thought pool, which calls us to exist. We must begin to live. What are you living for? Are you existing only to wake up the next day and do the same thing over and over and over? Are you happy with your life? Are you happy with what you're going through? Are you married and still feel that you're lacking? Are you married and unhappy? Are you married and consider a divorce? Are you married and considering an affair? Are you married and just want to just call it quits? If you are experiencing those things, even if you're single and went from, I call it going through the alphabet, dating every letter in the alphabet, and still you lack within, you need to begin to question, what do you need to make you feel full? What do you need to live? What do you need to begin to move from the realm of existing and begin to live? The God as I know him, or the God that you know of, is where we can receive information as to how we ought to live. In doing so, we must change our way of thinking. It's going to be hard because our old nature wants to do the right thing. Our old nature is going to tell us what we hear is wrong. But we must understand that before we can make a move in any direction, we must change the way we think. If you are experiencing a moment of living, mostly existing, thinking you're living, then this message is for you. We all, like myself, that exist on this earth to do the things that we really enjoy. Or even though it's bad for us, we still do it. Even though we know it's wrong, we still do it because we get a little pleasure and even sometimes receive pain from what we're going through. But we need to begin to wake up and begin to call into question our very own actions. When you're in your car, or you're walking down the street, or when you're watching TV, or you listen to the news, are you concerned about your surroundings? Or you or these individuals say, well, this up to them, I'm not going to do anything, I can't make a difference. I just stay in my own turtle shell of life. Then you will cease to exist one day, only to exist for however long you're on this earth. Another individual will say, you know what? I want to make a difference because I see when I'm out there in the street, when I'm driving or walking, or meet someone, or watch television, or hear on the news, it concerns me what I hear, and begin to look into mirror of self at their skills, how and what they can do to make a difference in their own neighborhood. It only takes one person to make a difference. Yes, we will face fear and persecution and people stabbing us in the back or talking about us or not getting any accolades or people encouraging us or supporting us. We may even have our own family members say we're crazy. We may have our own family members that don't have no part of us or what we're about to do. We will meet resistance from our own race. But if you're one of those individuals like myself that want to know if you are existing, just existing and you want to live, the time now is to begin to experience the process of beginning to live. To live. We all must come to that realization. Tomorrow is not promised to us. It's not. We may think it is, but it's not. When we go to sleep at night, is there any guarantee we'll wake up? Nah, not really. Only the Almighty knows when we will wake up, or whether we will or not. But in doing so, should we be out there making a difference? In order for people to change, they must change their way of thinking. Everything may be permissible for us to do, but is it beneficial for us to do them? We must begin to think and commit to a new way of thinking and begin to examine ourselves. Look at self-assessment, self-awareness. Look at our surroundings. Who are we hanging around with that's pulling us down? Who are we hanging out with that can encourage us, support us? Where can we go? Where can you go? What can we do to better ourselves? The first step to admit that we have a problem. We have issues. Because of pride, we don't want to admit that we have issues. Because of pride, we stay behind our own self-imposed prison, our wall, and refuse to let it be knocked down or removed. So we build our own wall of resistance against anyone who's trying to come over to help us, to pull us up, to cause us to escape from our self-imposed swimming pool of thoughts of life. We must begin to think as an individual and do what we need to do. We must begin to see life as it ought to be. Yes, we can make a difference. One person can make a difference. They just have to decide, what are they going to do? What are they going to do? I had this thought. There are a lot of individuals out there who are experiencing, that have information pertaining to shootings in their communities, and they refuse to get involved for whatever reasons. They don't even call a solid witness if they do have that in their town. They just drop the information. They sit on the information and sit on it and allow the suspect to go free. But what if the suspect is doing the same thing, injuring, killing, raping, and doing whatever? Is the person who's withholding the information is to blame? So to speak, they are. Because by not giving up the information for the police to make an arrest, that individual will still be out there committing crimes against other people. So that individual is just existing in the midst of the criminality that's around them. One who lives and decide that they're going to be living will begin to stand up and don't withhold information. Begin to give the information that they will save somebody else's life that may be down the line. That individual may attempt to shoot, kill, or rape, or whatever. So we must call into question our behavior, our responses, the things that we do, the things that we say. We must begin to wake up from our sleepwalking, though we are awake. We must begin to see, open our eyes, even though we can see, we are blinded. We must begin to hear, even we can hear, but we have become deaf. We have become deaf to the voices that are crying out, saying, help me. We have become blinded by our surroundings and refuse to even look at it. We begin to speak against what we see. And if we have the power to help in any way, do we not? No, we don't help. We just complain. We as individuals must begin to wake up and decide for ourselves, are we going to make a difference? I give an example of this beard that I have on, this beard that I'm growing. All my life, I always was clean shaven. So one day I decided to say, I'm going to grow a beard and see how I look. Some compliment about you look good, show wisdom. Some say it make me look older. But that was their opinion. It's what I think about the beard. It's what I think. What's my point? Your appearance, your behavior is brought about from you. You can make a difference. If you have to shave your spiritual beard off, if you have to change how you dress, your clothing, if you have to change how you communicate to others, if you have to change the things you say to other people in the midst of an argument, if you have to change, then you are saying to yourself that you want to begin to live and make a difference, not only in your life, but in others. So begin to think, are you existing? Or are you living? You can't do both. You must decide what you're going to do with your life. Yes, we have loved ones around us going to be supportive and non-supportive. We're going to have loved one that dies. It's going to be sad. We're going to experience the pain, the emotional, whatever. And that's okay. But we need to ask ourselves, what are we doing to make a difference? Did that person make a difference in your life? If they did, well, good. If they did not, so be it. But we must come to a point. It's not about right or wrong. It is about the truth that goes out. Truth that need to be spoken. Yes, they're going to hurt. Yes, they're going to cause division. Yes, people may not forgive you. But it's the truth that set us free from the world that we have planted for ourselves. You and only you are responsible for your behavior. You and only you. No one can't make you do anything. You have to choose to decide to do it. You can blame them, but what is that going to do? It takes the blame off of you, but you're still responsible. So it's my hope that this message would touch you in a way to cause you to think. If you like what you heard, begin to share with other people. Listen to my other videos. I'm quite sure, I promise you, you will get something from them. You may not like the message, you may not want to understand the message, but understand what you can understand. Because each little time that you understand something, you build upon it. My name, I am Anthony Milton. Welcome to my YouTube channel. It's a pleasure to be before you today. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching it. If you like what you heard, make a comment, share it, and subscribe to others. Subscribe to my channel. By doing so, whenever I pop up online, you get a message alert. So you can hear my many other messages. I have other things that I have planned. I choose not to go on Facebook because Facebook is more of a message board. I learned that a lot of individuals don't watch videos or their attention span is limited. Is that bad? No. But when it comes to messages, I decide to go this route. So if you want to hear what I have to say in the future, you have to come to my YouTube channel. Yes, I will upload it to Facebook for you to come here on my YouTube channel, even watching on Facebook. I'm only out here doing the best I can with the strength that God gave me to be a blessing to those who want to hear the truth. In closing, remember this. Are you existing? Are you living? Thank you. It's a pleasure to be before you. God willing, see you next Tuesday.